Hope you got some good stuff out of there.
Yeah. Here is belly. Here is belly button, hip crest, rib crest.
Okay.
Okay. So the first view in is really through the belly button, but looking on a 360 all the way around. And that first stop is up here on the right side. Here's picture number 1. Here's picture number 1.
Okay.
This is the right lobe of the liver and the right diaphragm. No endo.
Okay.
Okay. Second stop is off to the side. Here's the left lobe of the liver. Here's the left diaphragm. And right behind here, if we had a cine, you'd see the heart going boom, 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 boom. This whole thing would be moving, moving, moving.
Okay.
You can see here there's a blush of vessels right there.
Yeah.
Now, she has not described to me a lifetime of left shoulder or arm pain going down that she's had workups for. But that would be where endometriosis would show up clinically. If that's endo, then there's no doubt about it having a moving target with the heart right behind it and using the high energy, etc. Technically it's well up there, and if I don't have to perforate in there or do the excision using the high energy, I'll leave that alone.
Okay.
Unless they're symptomatic.
Okay, so that you didn't have to do anything there.
Didn't. Left abdominal sidewall all the way down. Here is this 3.
Okay.
And here is 4 getting headed down to the pelvis. Now we start to see this little stuff here and there?
Yeah, like the little bright, they almost look bright spots or something?
This little glistening stuff there. That's endo.
Okay.
I'll show you, we'll get a further view of it. Now we're looking straight down into the uterus. So there's 5. And here's kind of 6 going over to the cecum.
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of the cecum. And you can see areas where they resected before. They were over here.
Okay.
And there was another area here that they took out.
Yeah.
I went one further and I'll show you what. But anyway, so this is now 7 going back up. So we've basically completed a 360.
Yeah.
And now we're almost back up to the liver. The next stop this way.
Okay.
You with me?
Yep.
Now, tip her up. And all the intestines that were down here recede out of the pelvis, and now looking in deep behind the uterus, see this left pelvic sidewall? This is the area they excised, right here.
I guess, is that really
area.
like a scar tissue? I guess not really if they excised it. It's only
this
ablation that causes scar tissue, right?
Well, yeah, so there's some old burn marks here.
Okay.
This is where they excised it. This is actually the ureter coming in through here. All of this is endo. See the condensation of endo and the blistery stuff that's there? That's
okay.
Endo. And all of this is scar tissue, and scar tissue, see the star pattern of that? That's endo underneath that. But this is the only area they took out. You can see the difference in...
Do you find that odd that like the endo was so close and that's all they were, because it looks like that's pretty localized to the area. It's like they just chose like one little spot, but then if you zoom out a little bit,
you see all the other stuff. Yeah, it's common.
Huh. Okay.
Sadly.
I mean, is that more of like a time thing? Like they just don't have as much time in there as you?
Because they didn't want to get up into the ureter.
Okay.
They didn't want to get close to critical structure, so they'll pick out an easy place to, with it. It's not next to a critical structure. Take that and then leave the other stuff.
Okay.
So this is now, here's the colon.
Wow.
And see all those blood vessels and sort of all the attachments. So all of this is the endo.
Holy cow.
On the left pelvic brim, here's the uterus. Here's the uterosacral ligaments. Fallopian tube, ovary, fallopian tube, ovary, colon, sigmoid rectum. This is this, and this is sort of the left pelvic brim area.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you can see it. Do you see this? If I was showing it to you, see that little thing that looks like a bent T?
Yeah. Yeah,
there.
it's almost like a little cursive T or
It's
something.
actually a little bit of, it's all mucousy kind of snot-looking stuff that's hanging off that with some abnormal vessels, and you can see how it refracts the light slightly
And
differently.
that's this is still the colon, just a zoomed
Well,
up.
this is now in front. If I take the uterus and dip it back, here
Okay.
is the uterus. This would be the bladder.
Oh, okay. So this is on her bladder.
So this is on the back side of the bladder, and this is sort of the midline, and so all of this area I took out.
Wow.
Off the back side of the bladder.
Okay.
Based upon kind of the urinary symptoms and stuff like that she has. Here's the right pelvic sidewall. So we have the left pelvic sidewall all involved.
Mm-hmm.
With all this, see the scarring and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And there was actually see this scarring there? That's all endo pulling all that stuff
Together.
It's sort of like
Yikes.
pushing
Okay.
it on, and then and it all sort of starts to pull.
Yeah.
You see that? So, and then this is behind the vagina. So all of this area, and this is the ureter coming in through here. So there's a lesion right over the ureter, right there. So all of this gets resected out. Going back to the left pelvic sidewall, you can see all the way up high from here. All of this is involved. All of this is involved.
My goodness.
Okay. Looking back across, here's the rectum. Here. And so, again, going in. This is all clear, normal. This all is resected up here. Going back again, one more look there.
Mm-hmm.
This is that left pelvic brim. So now we start in, and this is in behind the vagina. This is the rectum here. All of this area resected out. All of this.
When you say resected, what is?
Literally sort of taken out the whole surface that's involved.
Oh, okay. So that's just you just saying you just removed it all.
Cutting out.
Got it. Okay.
Resecting.
And why is that so discolored compared to the other
I've
tissue?
taken it down to the layer below. This is actually, you can see the muscle of the rectum there.
So that's post. That's after you recess it. That's the look of it.
Yep. And this is now, again, going off to the side, and we take a look, and here is now the whole right pelvic sidewall resected. Here's behind the vagina resected. This is a posterior area behind the cervix.
Jeez.
Left pelvic sidewall. There's a left pelvic brim I didn't catch. And now I turn my attention to the appendix. And the appendix was dug out of this area that was sort of stuck in underneath next to the cecum. So here is off to the right side. Here's typically the cecum. Here would be the jejunum and ileum, the small intestine coming in here.
Okay.
And here would be your typical appendix.
Yeah.
Her appendix was basically, here is this, there's the ileum here, and the appendix was tucked up underneath like this, all stuck in underneath. So
And
I
was
had to lift that out. And that's potentially because of all the endo. You can see it's all, and literally digging it out of a hole. You see this? So I had to open up into that space. Here is the cecum here, and the jejunum kind of comes in right here.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I took the appendix out, did an appendectomy.
Oh, so she no longer has an.
Correct.
Just because it was so.
Because of that sort of all socked in area. Thus being, why is it socked in? No, because of inflammation. Why is it inflamed? Because of endometriosis.
Okay.
Those, as day follows night, sort of the conclusion out of that. And as a consequence, then taking that out, hoping then to improve her bowel function as well. All that
Okay.
upper intestinal stuff she has.
So I mean, it seems like there was. I mean, you've done this a lot. I mean, is this a pretty?
This is a decent surface area of
Okay.
endometriosis, not uncommon
Okay.
after somebody's had a bunch of surgeries that have sort of,
Just not really had a lot of
impact.
success or
Yeah,
impact.
because again, lots of surface area covered with still active endo and scarring and things like that.
Okay.
So again, within what's humanly visible, and with a high, as I keep saying, a high index of suspicion. So could that be? Could that be? And then going after that. she has no endo left, type
Yeah.
of thing. All right.
Okay.
So that's just a kind of a series of photos to kind of show, most importantly, kind of what this
The real areas where you removed
can
it
see
from.
how it's all sort of scarred and weird looking and
Mhm.
stuff like that, not smooth, and this is all chewed up on that side. You can
Yeah.
see all the scarring and the little blood vessels.
So is there like a lot of scarring or ablation tissue you had to remove, or most of what you had to do was just the actual endometriosis?
Endo, assumedly, it's endo, still active endo, causing more scarring. Now, how much was the contribution from the burn in that same area that was ineffective in
okay.
wiping out the endo?
Right.
'Cause
So in other words, like you're removing the ablation, which could also still be filled with endo
God,
inside
yeah.
that scarring.
Because surface burning ablation leaves, well known, leaves behind 60% of the lesions or still have active endo. So they're pissed off to begin with because of the endo, and then you burn them, they double piss them off, and now there's even more scarring there, but there's still active endo.
Wow. Okay.
You see what
So
I'm
it's
saying?
really just a completely pointless endeavor to do.
Pretty much. It's 40% not
Ablation.
pointless, but
Right.
60% pointless.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. So I get to keep these?
Yeah. And bring them to the appointment.
Then 2 weeks? Is that when you're talking about
I
the
think so,
appointment?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like the 30th, so exactly 2 weeks. Okay. So basically, you're going to give her this detailed
Again.
explanation
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, and
And I'll have all the pathology reports
about the areas,
related
right?
to
All the
that.
stuff that you took out.
Yeah.
And are you gonna speak to her again when she wakes up, or no,
Yeah.
not really?
She's going to, again, be 2 sheets to the wind.
Yeah.
There's nothing even, it's not too late, but there's nothing to say she can't go home from the point of view of, or be able to be out of the hospital from the point of view of the surgical procedure.
Okay.
All right. So now we'll just see how she feels.
All right,
I've
and
sort
just
of
leave it up to
pegged her
that.
towards going home is sort of where I think she'll lean,
Okay.
but or not home, but I don't know if we're going to drive home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming we would. I mean, we have an Airbnb, but it's like a shared space because I thought I was the only one using it,
yeah.
and it's like I know she'd rather be in her own bed
Yes.
than
I
do
mean,
something
that's-
like that.
Yeah, that's the
Or even stay here, and it's all highway. We don't really live, I'm not going to be doing dirt roads or something crazy.
Yeah,
So,
no.
okay, well, thank you so much.
You
I appreciate
bet.
it.
No, my